News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. Chris Crock Show. By the way, make it a preset at FM 93.3, our brand new signal. We're going to get into the illegal immigration thing and the mentioning of internment camps by George Takei and the rounding up and having massive holding facilities along the border for Trump's plan if he gets reelected, which I hope he does. In just a second, I want to tell you that brand new, just coming in, the numbers keep getting worse and worse and worse for Nikki Haley. It is shockingly bad for her, dude. She lost by 37 freaking points, dude. 37 freaking points. Trump did almost 2.5 times better than she did. So he literally got almost 2.5 votes for every vote she got. The woman she's not even toast anymore. She's toast, charred and crisped and burned again and again, like 5 baked and quadruple baked and quadruple lit on fire with gasoline toast that is no longer there. It's just disintegrated. That's what her campaign is. It's a joke. So, do you think she should drop out? I mean, who the hell's going to want to vote for this woman in 2028 for anything? What's she doing? You know what? By the way, can I tell you something? If you want to hope that Trump, something bad happens to him, that you can take the mantle, the people that are going to do that and do it successfully are Ron DeSantis, because they suspended their campaigns. You know what that means? They can go right back tomorrow and reopen their campaign. When you suspend it, you're not stopping it for good. You can start it up in 4 months. He could do that. So this woman is just she's like a suicide bomber. Or as we like to call them sometimes, homicide bombers. What are you doing, lady? She's a disgrace to herself. In a moment, we're going to get into Joel Osteen church shooting body cam released. It's very riveting. From that shooting, it's very riveting. I'll tell you about that. We'll play it in a minute. But first, Charlene in Fort Worth calling in. Oh, before we talk to Charlene real fast, here is some media, a little montage from the media saying how Republicans are so bad they're taking advantage of these illegals murdering and raping us all over this country today.
Republicans obviously seizing on this horrific tragedy at the University of Georgia. They're seizing on this as an example of Biden's failure to protect the American people and to secure the border.
Riley's death igniting a political firestorm. State House Speaker John Burns indicating that the Georgia House this week will take steps on illegal immigration.
As if the initial facts were not horrifying enough or the sense of loss not deep enough by now, and all of it has now been compounded by the revelation the suspect was in this country unlawfully and how quickly that fact became politicized.
And then, yes, politicized. No, this is not political. Fathers and mothers all over this country are frightened for their children, their wives, their daughters, their husbands, everybody. And then lastly, real quick one here, is Democrat Katie Porter, great congresswoman from California. And she's saying, don't judge all illegals by this. Come on, guys, don't let this affect you. We need these 12 million illegals or 9 million illegals Joe Biden's let in.
One instance shouldn't shape our overall immigration policy, which has so many different facets, including economic choices about what workers to allow in and how to create prosperity in America. So the situation is tragic and it's a loss, and it's important to acknowledge that, but also to recognize how all the other parts of immigration policy fit together.
Yeah, things are so great. They fit together, all this invasion. This is vile, disgusting, and a joke, what she's saying there. 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. Do you support, if you want to call them internment camps like George Takei does, I don't care, but do you support rounding up all these 9 to 12 million illegals by the time Joe Biden's done? Hopefully he's done at the end of in November. And holding them in massive facilities, you can call it an internment camp, I don't care, to orderly and compassionately deport them out of this country. Get them out of here. 800-288-WBAP, 800-288-9227. Charlene in Fort Worth, you're on News Talk 829 WBAP and now on FM at 93.3. Hello, Charlene.
Hi. Thank you for taking my call.
You're welcome.
Listen, I'm all for Donald Trump deporting, rounding these people up and getting them out of here by any means necessary. Mm-hmm. Whether it means taking them out, kicking and screaming and fighting, by any means necessary. I'm all for that. My concern is with all the people that have crossed the border, and you guys are saying military-aged young men, that have come over here, and they are now set up God knows where.
Right.
But my thing is, what if, they decide that they hear the plans of Donald Trump, if he gets back in there.
Yeah.
And so what's to stop them from striking while the iron is hot, while we have a weakling running our country, because if they're planning to do harm to us, surely they're not going to wait until we get a real leader, in place. So my concern is them striking before we can get Donald Trump even back in there, causing all kinds of turmoil and possibly a war. And if that should happen, are we going to keep who we already have in place? I mean, are we going to have an election if that happens?
That's a good question. And, anything could happen. You got 20,000 illegal Chinese who come in, many of them military-age men who've come in the past couple months that Joe has welcomed in, which is just terrifying. Who are these people? Are they Communist Chinese Party spies? Are they coming in to plant more? Our infrastructure is now threatened because of them. From their Chinese hacking, Typhoon Harpoon, their operation. So, what can we do? I pray to God it doesn't get in the way of our election, and I don't know, but let me tell you, something just came across my wire I want to share with you, Charlene. This is from Fox News' Bill Malugin breaking. Local media in D.C. is reporting another of Joe Biden's illegals. A Salvadoran illegal alien has been arrested in connection with the murder of a 2-year-old child. A few weeks ago. ICE tells Fox, this is in D.C. now, that he was released from custody after arrest multiple times in 2023 after local jurisdiction ignored ICE detainers. And Noel Trejo Granados, unlawfully present. He's an illegal 25. All these illegal immigrant men. One is accused of murdering our sweetheart in Georgia. One is accused of raping a woman in Florida today. One is accused of raping an under 14-year-old child in Boston today. ICE rounded him up after he was freed. One is accused of raping an underage 14-year-old in Virginia today. One is accused of, now we have one in D.C. who is accused of murdering a 2-year-old child that Joe Biden brought in.
And Donald Trump, when he was running for president, and he was saying things like, if we allow all these people to come over here, illegals, we were going to have rapists and murderers. But they were calling him a racist
yes.
for saying that. Are these
what do you say?
Not happening right now? Are they not happening the way he said it would?
Yes, it is. So what do you say to all these people that say it's racist? What do you say to all these people that say you can't round them up like the Japanese? The Japanese Americans are not. These people aren't Americans. Are you okay with rounding them up and deporting them all in mass?
Yes, absolutely, 100%. And while we're at it, is there any way we can round up Joe Biden and his administration and deport them somewhere?
I would agree. Thank you for your wonderful call, Charlene. You're fantastic. Call in again, please, okay?
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Great call. George in Fort Worth, you're on News Talk 820 WBAP and now on FM at 93.3.
Hey, Chris, I want to preface this by saying I voted for Donald Trump twice. Mm-hmm. So before you make assumptions, I just wanted to let you know that.
Okay.
My statement is I'm not a fan of the internment camp piece because we cannot sit here and complain about the spending in D.C. and talk about the millions, if not billions, that it would cost to do that. I'm a big fan of fixing the border, but not just the southern border, the northern border as well.
Yeah, 20,000 Mexican nationals have come in the northern border from Canada in the past couple of months alone. It's a huge open hole now. Real fast, you say you're worried about budgets. Well, what does it matter to you on a budget when it comes to a 2-year-old murdered today in D.C., a 14-year-old raped in Virginia, all this in the past 2 days, woman raped in Florida, a 14-year-old or under raped in Boston, a 22-year-old murdered on UGA campus for jogging, her head bashed in her skull. Are you really going to talk about millions or billions when it comes time to getting this crap out of here?
Well, here's the
Are you
thing,
really going to put a price on that if it's your daughter or your child?
Can you let me speak?
I'm just asking you a question.
I know. Well, let me answer your question with yes, I'm going to talk about budgets because it's also time.
No, I know. I'm just asking you. You didn't answer my question.
Hold on.
I didn't. No. You need to hold on for a second. I didn't ask you if you're going to talk about budgets. I said, are you really going to put a price on your daughter getting raped or murdered? Are you going to put a price on it? Yes or no?
No, it's not going to be a price.
Okay, thank you, George. I appreciate your call. All right, coming up next, you're going to hear the body cam footage released from Joel Osteen's the church shooting at his church. It's horrifying, it's scary, and it's riveting. Next. Okay, guys, I want to play for you the body cam audio of Joel Osteen's church shooting. I think it's Lakewood Church, but I call it Joel Osteen. Everybody knows who he is. I'm not a fan of his doctrine in any way, shape, or form at all. Okay, but I'm not here to. This could be your church or mine. So this is as for all of us. It was very serious. It is very serious, and we need to pray for everybody there for the shock and the horror. Now, thankfully, no one was killed except for the terrorist and the terrorist's son, who she used as a human shield. It's her fault. She killed him. And she's dead too, I believe. But the body cam tells you what it's like. You're going to hear two things. The first one is going to be the response in real time and from a little bit of a distance while people are shooting at her and you hear stuff. The second one is a perspective that is really intimate to me because it's cops like that you and I have at our churches in uniform talking to people out of uniform, or security people at the church, and they're just huddling. And then all of a sudden they hear shots fired in the distance and, on the other side of the church. Then they come running around. It is a very, very riveting perspective. So let's play both. The first one's a couple of minutes. The second one's a couple of minutes. We have just enough time to pop them off this segment. Let's go to the first one where they're there responding.
Liquid church.
She's threatening to blow up the place. If just so you know that she's yelling stuff at him. That's the woman, the terrorist.
I got one female shooting rifle. I'm pinned down on against the wall corner. I went out to shoot on the west side, 3700. Say she got a bomb. Put the weapon down! That's a bomb! Put the weapon down! The bomb's not going. Blue! Blue, 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 blue! You have a bomb. Blue, 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 blue. Hey, we need a medic! We need a medic immediately! Put the weapon down! Hold on, watch out. Hey, who has the radio? I can shoot this down. I need a medic. I have one young male conscious and breathing. He got shot in the head. I need medics.
That's the terrorist who had Free Palestine on her or Palestine on her rifle. Transgender for years apparently said calling herself a man. Another transgender terrorist, it appears. But the real reason for this is for you to hear and think of the horrors that could happen if this was your halls of your church and how devastating and terrifying that is. You could see people running. The next part I'm going to play for you here is a shorter version of Bodycam, but it's from a cop in uniform, and you can really hear they're talking. She's talking to the security people, hanging out a little bit, and then all of a sudden they hear shooting on the other side of the church, so that you can hear them run. It's really riveting. Here it is.
I think there was about 6 to 8 that they actually put as part-time employees. I don't know how they did it with their agency.
What is that? What are people running?
Wire area. 3639. We're at Lakewood Church. We need units now. We are Lakewood Church. We need units at Lakewood Church. We need to go. We need to get closer. Oh, they're talking. My camera's not working.
Take a breath and note yourself and let us know. Can we release the channel and have EMS move up?
Hey, Sergeant, we're good right now. She has something strapped on her. We're trying to figure it out.
That gives you a breathtaking view of the body cam footage of that officer. And could you imagine being the one running to that terror? She's yelling, "There's a bomb, I got a bomb." The child, her 5-year-old child she put in front of her as a human shield, he was shot and killed because she allegedly had a bomb strapped to her chest and was shooting at them with an AR-15 or whatever it was. There you go. This is why our cops are heroes, and they all are heroes to me, and they should be your hero too. We're going to, coming up next, we're going to talk about how to avoid getting a bad contractor who could actually end up burning your house down. It actually almost happened to me. It could have happened to me. It kind of did, actually, but the house didn't burn down. All that coming up next. And then after that, we're going to get to the Mesquite ISD school shooter. That body cam was released. A lot of shots fired in that one, too. You're going to hear that coming up at 9:45. Next. News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. Make it a preset. As mentioned, I want to make sure you know this. We're going to play the Mesquite ISD body cam footage that was just released today. I'll be playing the 911 call. It's pretty scary stuff. That'll be coming up at 9:45. But right now on the Chris Crock Show, my friend and one of my sponsors at Reformation Roofing and Construction now. Reformation Roofing and Construction. I gotta get that whole thing right there, Rob Vaughn, co-owner of Reformation Roofing and Construction. And you have a new add to your team here, and he's a football star, a former football star, isn't he?
Yes, he is. Former, current,
Yes, so Landry Jones. Landry Jones may sound familiar. You went to OSU. You were a quarterback, and then you played for the freaking Pittsburgh Steelers, dude. I know who they are.
There you go. Yeah, absolutely.
What year were you in OSU?
I was at never at OSU.
Never. Yeah, exactly.
I was at OU.
It's OSU. OU. Gosh darn, what's wrong with me?
Yeah, what's wrong with you?
I never went to school in Oklahoma. I know UT, UTA, UTD, UNT, but I don't.
All the other ones that aren't important.
Yeah, OU. Forgive me. You went to OU. Go ahead, though.
Yeah. I went to OU 2008 to 2012.
Dude, and what year did you play the NFL for Pittsburgh?
Yeah, I was with Pittsburgh 2012 to 2018.
That's freaking
and then
awesome.
Bounced around for a little bit and then retired 2020.
Good for you, brother. And now you're at Reformation Roofing and Construction. You will be overseeing the construction side of things. And I wanted to ask you guys a few questions about, for example, my kitchen remodel. I had this happen to me. I had to fire a contractor because they said they would pull permits. I learned a big lesson I will never do again. They said they were going to pull permits. They did not, little unbeknown to my wife and I. And the guy that did the electrician guy was not an electrician. We found out because of his shoddy work. In fact, I had to bring in another electrician to inspect it, and he said it was not a matter of if, but when a fire would happen. And the workmanship was horrible too on the tiles, and it was a nightmare, the whole thing, and it was a big regret. And then I had the city come out and inspect, and they said the same thing. It's not a matter of if, not when. Not if there'd be a fire. So how do we make sure that this kind of stuff doesn't happen to us, whether it be the shoddy workmanship and whether it be electrician putting our house at risk, our lives at risk?
Yeah, I don't want your house burning down because
that
would suck, right?
Yes, especially by minute.
You got to crawl on your knees and get out of there.
Yes,
right? Get going.
Get low and go.
Get low and go, baby.
Stuff, drop, and roll. Scream, shout. Yes, go ahead.
Man, this type of stuff kind of happens all the time, especially in the state of Texas, where general contractors, anybody can just like raise their hand and be like, "Hey, I'm a general contractor," and so like getting an electrician or like a plumber or like anything like that, it's like, hey, those guys need to have like some type of. It's required by the state of Texas that they actually are like certified. So if you get like an electrician coming into your house and just says, "Hey, I'm Johnny the electrician," be like, okay, wonderful. What's your certification? Where's your insurance? And just kind of do a little bit of digging in the background on it. And then don't just hire whoever you find out there. Try to get some like reputable source. Luckily enough for us, we know all of our subcontractors. We got great electricians and plumbers that are working with us. So working with someone like Reformation Roofing and Construction, you don't ever have to worry about that issue.
Yeah, so so the electrician's license, you should be able to ask for a license number. And, if they don't have that, and also permits, aren't they supposed to be displayed in your conspicuously, like in your front or your back or something, or wherever outside or on the front door or something?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. All the permits, they're supposed to be able to pull them, show them to you guys, and be like, hey, look, these are the permits. This is what we have. So you can ask for those things. Don't just like, hey, I take your word for it. Like, hey, show me the stuff.
You know what? The other thing that I learned, too, is some places or some people try to skirt around permitting, and I learned I will never, ever do that because it protects us, the consumer, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
It does.
Yeah. Okay, so continuing to mention my buddy Rob Vaughn, who's co-owner of Reformation Roofing and Construction, and Landry Jones, his construction head. So I wanted to also ask, like my shower, and I know it's hard without seeing it, and I'm going to have you guys come over because I want to get an estimate on it, but I have travertine, and I sealed it because it was starting to show a little mold. I used the wash and everything to get the stuff out, the bad stuff out, and I resealed it. It worked fine. 8 years later, it's back. I thought I did a good job of it. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I need to redo it, but I got mold coming back up in the bottom, and does that mean I have what is that? What do you do in a situation like that? That's my first question.
Well, I would say that it is important to make sure that whenever it's installed, something like that they've used the appropriate backing in terms of moisture barrier, things like that. That the sheetrock that they use is a green board or purple, or there's cement board that is used for, resisting moisture.
Mm-hmm.
But also, one thing to keep in mind, is this what you were telling us was travertine?
Yeah, which I hate. I will never get that. We came with the house. I hate it.
Well,
I hate it.
Travertine is super porous.
Right.
And so if your moisture barrier on the backside of that travertine is not solid, if they skimped on doing that, and you have travertine, you're in big trouble. But yeah, sealing it is obviously important, and then the caulk and grout, those things are only meant to last sometimes for a few years, especially whenever if they're not maintained on an ongoing, consistent basis.
Mm-hmm.
But every couple of years, sometimes those things got to be taken out and redone.
Yeah. You mean the whole shower? You mean, or you mean just
the grout,
ceiling?
The grout and the caulking. Yeah.
Do you guys do that too?
Yeah.
Okay.
If it's regularly maintained, it should extend the life of that in terms of grout sealer and things like that. But
I'm gonna have to have you come over
until we can actually lay eyes on it.
Yeah.
We're just.
But you do showers.
You do a match in there, and we'll bomb it.
Yeah.
Then
a match and you'll bomb it. I like that. That's a good idea. Right. That's my kind of home improvement right there. I'm telling you, I'm in. So I think I need to. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say you can do that, huh?
I think
that's right up your alley.
I think, guys, that talking to Reformation Roofing, I can't talk. Reffing? You're used to reffing there, Landry, with the refs when you're in the NFL and at OU, not OSU. Now, the Cowboys is OSU. You're not a Cowboy.
No, definitely not a Cowboy. Definitely against everything that I believe in.
Absolutely. Okay, now, but it's Reformation Roofing and Construction. You guys are my roofers, and I'm going to have you over for construction to look at my bathroom. And then one more thing, you guys just did a big. Another former NFLer, Myles Garrett. You did his house. What'd you guys do? His roof and his house, or what?
No, he had Defensive Player of the Year. Man, come on. He had a leak inside of his bathroom, so we had to go in there, take out the vanity. Replace all the sheetrock, replace all the baseboards, all the trim, replace the carpet. It just kind of made a huge mess in his bathroom. So went in there, demoed everything out, had to replace some tile in there. So got in there, busted it out within a couple weeks, and it looked awesome at the end of that deal. So he was pretty pumped up. And good thing about that too is he was out of town, so having somebody that he could trust actually go inside of his house while all these subcontractors were in there, and so I was there, every day letting some contractors in and making sure they're getting the job done, and no one took anything from his house. So praise the Lord.
There you go. So and he's a Cleveland Brown, which is a negative for me, but nonetheless.
Not everybody. We pray for everybody, so
we do.
We're hoping that he's going to get converted here soon.
He's an Aggie, so we pray more for him, sir, than an OU. Excuse me, yes,
That's
OU
right.
alumni. Okay, guys, Rob Vaughn, how can people get in touch with you for roofing information, to get an estimate on something, have them look at your roof, or to get a house reconstruction, remodel estimate? How can they do that?
They can give us a shout by either calling or texting if they're not comfortable with giving us a call and getting stuck on the phone with people who like to talk so much. They can just text us and we'll get back in touch with them at 940-210-3009. Or they can shoot us an email. My email is rob@roofingreformation.com, and then Landry is at Landry@roofingreformation.com.
All right, if you come over for my to look at my bathroom there, Landry, I want an autograph, sir. And don't tackle me. I want you on my side.
Yeah, no, you don't have to worry about it. I never really had to tackle people.
All right, brother, man. Thank you guys very much. Look forward to having you over soon, okay?
Yes, sir.
Right,
take care, guys.
Good.
All right, take care. All right, up next, I've got the raw body cam from Mesquite ISD with the school shooter. The 911 tape as well. It's riveting as well, and it's another aspect of showing what our cops go through. You're going to hear from that next on the Chris Crock Show on News Talk 820 WBAP and now on FM at 93.3. Make it a preset. And then we have Gavin Newsom saying Joe Biden's age is an asset. What do you think about that? All that's next. Chris Crock Show, WBAP. Okay, y'all. We shared the Joel Osteen church shooting body cam. It was very riveting, and it shows you why our cops are heroes. They run to the hell. They run towards the woman, the homicidal apparent Islamist / apparent transgender terrorist with Palestine or Free Palestine written on her barrel as she's shooting up Joel Osteen's church and then using her son as a human shield. It was horrifying and scary. And you heard in the video she's yelling, "Bomb! I have a bomb! I have a bomb! Get back! Get back! I have a bomb!" And she had something strapped to her chest that looked like it was a bomb. And so they lit her up. And I want you to think about that. I want you to think about that. It's not to scare you, but I want you to think about this. Don't put your head in the sand. Think about that. This could be at your church. I don't want it to be. I don't want it to be anybody's. Even Joel Osteen's church, which I'm not a fan of. Of course, I don't want this to anybody, and they need our prayers too. Everybody does. But for the horror they've gone through, it's just horrible. The people were yelling and screaming, running. You heard them. It wasn't tons of people, but there were people running that were running away. I don't know how it may have been empty at the time, but there was still people all over the place running. And just think about it, because if you're not confident your church has a plan, bring it up to them and be gentle but insistent about a plan of some sort, because you want to know. There should be unmarked and marked officers at your church, uniformed and ununiformed officers, law enforcement, and then you should also have security staff. They can volunteer, be paid however big your church is, and they can work with law enforcement. You have to do this now. I'm sorry. Be prepared and carry. And I really have a rough time with churches that don't let you carry. I think it's terrible. It's ridiculous. Open carry is stupid, and churches that don't allow that, I support that too. I mean, just conceal it, but carry. A lot of people carry. More safety. Not that you're a hero. Don't go after stuff. But if you're caught in a situation, you can pop them and drop them. Now, this is a totally different one. Now, Producer Garrett, you brought up a good question to me. You're going to hear this tape. It is first you're going to hear the 911 call. I'm going to play that for you right now. This is the Mesquite ISD. This is the associate or assistant principal calling in, and you can hear the panic / she's trying to remain calm, but the panic in her voice. She calls 911, talks to the emergency line there in Mesquite or Dallas County. Here she says.
No student just pulled a gun. I need someone here now. I am with him. He's fine. I'm calming him down. I need you to get someone here now.
You can hear the panic, sweetheart. Now, I think it's the same lady here who introduces them and brings them in and says there's a gun on the ground. She kind of tries to whisper it so she doesn't alarm this guy. I mean, she knows how to work with these kids, but this is a different situation. But so you'll hear the officer, and Producer Garrett's kind of like, well, why are they so kind of quote unquote, I don't know, nice or something to him? You know what I mean? It was kind of what you were saying, right? Yeah. And is that fine? Is that what you were saying, basically? Why are they trying to talk calmly to them when they're irrational thinkers? And my response was, well, let's play it, and you'll hear why, and I'll tell you why. And again, this is why cops are a hero. They're going to have to shoot and kill a guy, perhaps, who's 14 years old or so, that's threatening to kill people with a gun and brought a gun to school. It's on the floor right in front of him, is what the assistant principal said. Here it goes.
Is he in here?
He's in here. He still don't move. It's on the floor in front of him. He still don't move. Be still, don't move, and I need you to trust me. Do you understand? It's on the floor between his legs.
What's going on today, buddy? Can you talk to us? We would like to help you. That's why we're here. Is anything upset you today?
Just give me the air for a minute.
Can you listen to me closely? Please do not reach for that gun, okay? We don't want anything to happen to you or anyone else. Can you do that for me? What has upset you today? Maybe we could talk about it.
In trouble? Okay. We just need you to step away, sweet.
Shot fired, shot. Hey! Do you need anything right now? No?
We just need you to step away from the gun, buddy. You're not in trouble? Okay. We just need you to step away, sweet.
Okay, I don't know why that looped back. That's weird. Oh, you know what that was? That was a second body cam view. That's what that was. All right, let's finish that part off then, I guess. Here, hold on.
Do you need anything right now? No?
We just need you to step away from the gun, buddy. You're not in trouble? Okay. We just need you to step away, sweet.
Shot fired, shot fired. Hold on.
The 14-year-old reached, 16-year-old, I should say, reached down and picked up the gun and stood up with it and pointed right at him. They popped him and dropped him. I don't know the full extent of his injury. He was reported to be alone in the office, says WFAT TV Channel 8. Pulled a gun. They were trying to calm him down. And so producer Gary was like, why are they being so nice to him? Because the teacher indicated that she's trying to keep it calm. She's trying to calm him down. The gun's on the ground, apparently. They're all thinking if they can relax this kid and de-escalate, maybe they can do something. But they were prepared. They had their guns drawn. They were ready, and they popped him and dropped him to what they had to do. The student had placed the handgun on the floor at his feet, and no one else was in the office. So that's kind of what went down. And then no other students were injured. 19 shots fired by 3 officers. No initial indication the suspect fired at him, but doesn't matter. You point a gun, you're gonna get killed or shot. The 3 officers involved, 8-year veteran, 5-year veteran, officer in training. Good job to all of them. Great job. I don't see anything about some injury in this. I'll double check it for you. Oh, here, minor leg. That's what I thought. Just a minor leg wound. They closed the door. They continued negotiating. He complied with commands and was arrested. So, 16-year-old boy. Got to shoot them. Might have to kill him. It's terrible, but you got to do what you got to do. They are our heroes. Remember that. They run to this. They go to this. They are the ones protecting us from this and the horror and the hell that awaits us from the bad guys and bad women. Okay, coming up next, I want to get into Gavin Newsom saying Biden's age is an asset, which is funny. And Jack Smith offers a blistering response to the Her report. And is saying, well, Orange Man's documents case is not the same as Biden's document case. Oh, all that next.